Right now, at this exact moment, something inside you is about to make a decision. You are about to either keep scrolling or stop and listen to a message that feels strangely personal. This is not just another video. This is not entertainment. This is a signal. And if you ignore it, you may never realize how many moments like this have already passed you by. Imagine if the greatest limitation in your life is not your job, not your money, not your relationships, but your ability to recognize when reality itself is trying to speak to you. What if your thoughts are not random? What if your emotions are not accidents? What if your attention is the most powerful technology ever created, and you've been using it unconsciously your entire life? Ancient civilizations believed knowledge was hidden in symbols because the human mind was not ready to see truth directly. Today, science is beginning to confirm something deeply mysterious. Observation changes reality. Focus shapes outcomes. Intention influences probability. And somewhere between quantum physics and spiritual awareness, a new understanding of manifestation is emerging, one that could completely transform how you experience success, purpose, and personal power. So before you dismiss this as just another video, pause, breathe, and ask yourself one question: what if this message is arriving at exactly the moment you need it most? Quick request before we begin: if you feel even a small sense of curiosity or connection, take 1 second to like this video, subscribe for deeper knowledge, and leave a comment telling me which part of the United States you're watching from. Your comment is not just engagement, it is an act of conscious participation. See APTR1, the hidden observer within you. There is a part of you that has been watching your entire life unfold, silently recording your decisions, your fears, your ambitions, and your forgotten dreams. Most people never notice this inner observer because they are too busy reacting to external circumstances. They wake up each morning believing reality is something that happens to them, not something they help create. Yet modern quantum theory suggests that reality is not fully formed until it is perceived. At the smallest measurable level, particles exist as waves of possibility until observation causes them to collapse into a specific state. This is not just an abstract scientific concept. It carries profound implications for human consciousness. If the universe itself operates on probabilities waiting for observation, then your awareness becomes more than passive perception. It becomes participation. Your thoughts are not simply reflections of the world, they are subtle influences that shape the direction of your experience. Ancient teachings symbolized this awareness as a divine intelligence within the mind, a guiding presence that sees beyond illusion. Whether you call it intuition, higher consciousness, or spiritual insight, it represents the capacity to recognize that you are not merely living inside reality, you are interacting with it at a fundamental level. In daily life, this interaction is often overshadowed by conditioning. From childhood, you are taught to focus on limitations, competition, and external validation. You learn to measure success by comparison rather than alignment. Over time, your attention becomes fragmented, scattered across endless distractions. This scattered awareness weakens your ability to influence outcomes because manifestation requires coherence. Just as a laser becomes powerful by aligning light waves into a single direction, human intention becomes transformative when thoughts, emotions, and beliefs move together toward a clear vision. Many people attempt manifestation techniques without understanding this principle. They repeat affirmations while internally doubting their worth. They visualize success while emotionally expecting failure. This internal contradiction creates energetic noise that disrupts the process. Quantum models describe similar interference patterns where overlapping waves cancel each other out. The lesson is simple but profound. Clarity of consciousness determines clarity of experience. Education systems rarely address this dimension of reality. Students memorize facts about the external world while remaining unaware of the mechanisms shaping their internal perception. Yet neuroscience reveals that the brain constantly predicts incoming sensory information before it arrives. Your mind is not a camera capturing objective truth, it is a prediction engine constructing meaning from incomplete data. This means your expectations influence what you notice, what you ignore, and how you interpret events. If you believe opportunities are scarce, you will unconsciously filter out possibilities that contradict this belief. If you expect growth, you will detect patterns of progress even in challenging situations. Manifestation begins not with changing circumstances, but with changing the predictive model operating within your consciousness. Spiritual traditions have long emphasized self-awareness as the gateway to transformation. Meditation, reflection, and intentional focus were practices designed to quiet mental noise and reveal the deeper observer behind reactive thoughts. Today, these practices are being re-examined through scientific research showing measurable effects on attention, emotional regulation, and neural plasticity. The hidden observer within you is not mystical in the sense of being supernatural. It is mystical because it represents untapped potential. When you become aware of awareness itself, you gain the ability to choose where your mental energy flows. This choice determines how probability unfolds in your personal reality. Imagine standing at the edge of multiple possible futures, each shaped by subtle decisions made in the present moment. Every time you focus on fear, you reinforce a pathway leading toward contraction. Every time you focus on possibility, you strengthen a pathway leading toward expansion. Over months and years, these micro-choices accumulate into visible life outcomes. Success, fulfillment, and creative expression are rarely sudden miracles. They are emergent patterns formed by consistent alignment between intention and perception. To activate this alignment, you must first recognize the illusion of separateness. Quantum entanglement experiments demonstrate that particles once connected can influence each other instantly across vast distances. While the direct application of this phenomenon to human relationships remains speculative, it offers a symbolic framework for understanding interconnectedness. Your thoughts do not exist in isolation. They are part of a dynamic network of influences shaping social, emotional, and even economic environments. When large groups share similar beliefs, collective realities emerge. Cultural movements, technological revolutions, and societal transformations often begin as shifts in collective consciousness before becoming tangible events. By cultivating intentional awareness, you contribute to this larger field of possibility. Manifestation is not selfish wish fulfillment, it is conscious participation in the evolution of experience. At a practical level, developing the observer within requires disciplined attention. This means creating moments of stillness in a world designed to capture your focus through constant stimulation. It means questioning automatic reactions and examining the narratives you tell yourself about identity and capability. Education becomes more powerful when it includes introspection alongside information. Instead of asking only what to learn, you begin asking how learning changes perception. Instead of chasing external success, you explore internal alignment. Gradually, you realize that reality is not a fixed stage but a responsive environment interacting with your state of mind. This realization does not eliminate challenges or guarantee immediate results. Rather, it transforms how you approach uncertainty. Fear becomes curiosity. Failure becomes feedback. Time becomes an ally rather than an enemy. The hidden observer is always present, but it becomes influential only when acknowledged. By directing awareness deliberately, you start to perceive subtle opportunities that were previously invisible. You notice patterns of synchronicity, meaningful coincidences that suggest alignment between intention and unfolding events. Whether interpreted scientifically as confirmation bias or spiritually as guidance, these experiences reinforce confidence in the creative power of consciousness. Over time, manifestation evolves from a technique into a lifestyle rooted in intentional living. You begin designing your days with purpose, choosing environments that support growth, and surrounding yourself with ideas that expand possibility. This is the beginning of personal transformation, the moment you realize that your greatest resource is not external knowledge, but internal clarity. CATR 2, Quantum Possibility and the Architecture of Manifestation. To understand manifestation in a meaningful way, it is essential to move beyond simplistic interpretations and explore the deeper architecture of possibility. Quantum physics does not claim that human thoughts magically control the universe. Instead, it reveals a reality far more nuanced and intriguing, a universe where uncertainty is fundamental and outcomes emerge through interaction. At the subatomic level, particles do not possess definite properties until measured. They exist in superpositions, simultaneously representing multiple potential states. This scientific insight can be used as a metaphor for human potential. Each individual carries numerous latent abilities, identities, and future paths that remain unexpressed until activated through decision and experience. Manifestation in this context becomes the process of collapsing personal probability waves into chosen realities. However, collapsing possibility into outcome requires more than desire. It requires structured intention supported by emotional resonance and behavioral consistency. Many people imagine manifestation as passive visualization, yet research in psychology emphasizes the importance of goal-directed action. The brain strengthens neural pathways associated with repeated thoughts and behaviors, gradually making certain responses automatic. This phenomenon, known as neuroplasticity, illustrates how internal focus translates into external capability. When you consistently imagine a desired future while taking incremental steps toward it, you create a feedback loop reinforcing belief and competence. Spiritual teachings describe this as alignment between mind, heart, and action. Quantum metaphors describe it as coherence within a system. Both perspectives highlight the necessity of integration. Education plays a crucial role in bridging these perspectives. By studying both scientific principles and contemplative practices, individuals gain a balanced understanding of manifestation that avoids extremes of blind skepticism or unrealistic optimism. For example, probability theory teaches that outcomes are influenced by multiple variables, including environmental conditions and random fluctuations. Recognizing this prevents the misconception that every event is solely a product of personal intention. At the same time, understanding cognitive biases reveals how perception shapes opportunity recognition. Someone trained to notice patterns of growth will identify chances for advancement that others overlook. This selective attention effectively increases the probability of favorable outcomes. Manifestation, therefore, involves optimizing internal variables to interact constructively with external uncertainty. Another important concept is temporal perspective. Quantum equations often describe systems evolving over time through wave functions that encode potential trajectories. Similarly, human manifestation unfolds across temporal layers. Short-term focus generates immediate adjustments, while long-term vision guides strategic direction. Problems arise when individuals expect instant transformation without allowing sufficient time for processes to mature. Seeds planted in consciousness require consistent nurturing through disciplined habits and adaptive learning. Spiritual traditions emphasize patience as a virtue, not because progress is slow but because awareness deepens gradually. Each experience refines understanding, enabling more sophisticated intention. Over years, this iterative process can lead to profound shifts in identity and circumstance. The architecture of manifestation also includes relational dynamics. Humans are social beings whose beliefs and emotions are influenced by collective environments. Sociological studies demonstrate that peer networks affect everything from career trajectories to health behaviors. When you align with communities that encourage growth, your manifestation efforts gain momentum through shared inspiration and accountability. This phenomenon resembles resonance in physics, where systems vibrating at similar frequencies amplify each other's energy. Spiritual frameworks interpret this as the law of attraction operating through emotional harmony. Regardless of terminology, the principle remains clear: supportive environments accelerate personal evolution. A deeper layer of manifestation involves confronting subconscious patterns. Many limitations originate from early experiences that shaped self-concept. These patterns operate below conscious awareness, subtly guiding decisions and reactions. Techniques such as mindfulness, journaling, and therapeutic reflection help bring hidden beliefs into the light of observation. Once recognized, these beliefs can be reevaluated and restructured. Quantum analogies again provide symbolic insight. Just as measurement alters a particle's state, conscious attention alters psychological conditioning. By observing fear without judgment, you reduce its automatic influence. By visualizing confidence repeatedly, you establish new neural associations. Gradually, the architecture of your inner world becomes more supportive of intentional creation. Manifestation is often misunderstood as controlling destiny, yet a more accurate interpretation is collaborating with uncertainty. Life remains unpredictable, filled with variables beyond personal influence. The power of consciousness lies not in eliminating randomness, but in responding creatively to it. Entrepreneurs who innovate during economic downturns, artists who transform adversity into expression, and leaders who inspire collective resilience all demonstrate this principle. They recognize that uncertainty contains hidden opportunities accessible through adaptive thinking. Quantum systems exhibit similar behavior, where fluctuations can lead to emergent order under the right conditions. Human manifestation mirrors this dynamic by turning challenges into catalysts for growth. Ultimately, the architecture of manifestation invites a shift from reactive living to intentional design. Instead of drifting through routines shaped by external expectations, you begin crafting experiences aligned with deeper values. Education becomes exploration rather than obligation. Work becomes contribution rather than mere survival. Relationships become partnerships in evolution rather than sources of validation. This transformation does not occur overnight. It unfolds through sustained awareness, courageous experimentation, and willingness to revise outdated narratives. Over time, the boundary between science and spirituality becomes less rigid as both perspectives converge on a shared insight: reality is participatory. When you internalize this insight, everyday moments acquire new significance. A conversation becomes an exchange of probabilities, a decision becomes a creative act, even silence becomes a space where future possibilities gather strength. Manifestation is no longer a mysterious ritual but a continuous dialogue between consciousness and cosmos. By embracing this dialogue with humility and curiosity, you step into a role that ancient symbols once described as sacred, the role of a conscious observer shaping experience through understanding. And as this understanding deepens, you may begin to sense that the message you almost ignored at the beginning was not random at all, but the first signal in a larger awakening toward purposeful existence.